My reaction to UFC 300. Wow, what a night of fights, especially the BMF title fight and the light heavyweight title fight. A lot of entertaining fights on this card, but we'll get right into it. We started off the early prelims with Deiveson Figueiredo defeating Cody Garbrandt by submission, rear naked choke in the later stages of round two. I did predict Figueiredo to win this one. I thought it would be a stand-up battle, which it started out as, but ultimately Figueiredo got it done with a rear naked choke on the ground. Smart for Figueiredo to get it done on the ground. Definitely a tactical win. Cody is most dangerous with his hands, so smart move. Figueiredo can now fight someone at the top of the division, or even O'Malley for the title. As for Garbrandt, it could be worse. A knockout would have been devastating at this point in his career. UFC will give him someone lower ranked, and hopefully he can bounce back with a win. I feel like Figueiredo had an opportunity to call out someone after the fight. I feel like that was really a missed opportunity. He should have called out O'Malley after this win, but he didn't call out anyone. So we'll see what's next for him. I'm sure he'll get another top contender. Then we had Bobby Green defeating Jim Miller by unanimous decision. My prediction was Miller, but Green got it done. Fairly competitive first round, then Green took over with his striking. Miller tagged him with a good punch at the end of the first round. So it was good to see that Green's chin is still holding up. He had a really vicious KO in his last match with Jalin Turner. So good to see that there apparently isn't any lasting issues from that. Green can move on, fight a higher ranked opponent, get back on track. As for Miller, I feel like he could retire at this point. He's no spring chicken. What does he have left to prove? He's clearly not going to go on any sort of title run at this point. So UFC 300, good bookend to his career. If he wants to continue, he could. He would be basically, I guess, a gatekeeper at this point. So we'll see what's next for him. Jessica Andrade versus Marina Rodriguez was the next one. Jessica Andrade winning by split decision. I did predict Andrade to win this one. Not much to say here. It was definitely a competitive bout. I think both women's stock doesn't really go down from here. So good fight, competitive fight. Renato Moicano defeating Jalin Turner by TKO was the next match. At the beginning of the fight, Turner hit him with some body kicks right away, which caused Moicano to clinch. Then at the end of round one, Turner hit him with a punch that dropped him to the canvas. Turner acted like he had the walk-off knockout, raising his arms. Not sure what was going on, like he was confused or just didn't want to go to the ground with Moicano at that point. Clearly Moicano wasn't done. So this decision will come back to hurt Turner in the second round. Turner losing the fight via TKO after getting mounted. Hopefully Turner can learn from this. I'm sure his coaches will have some words with him afterwards, or already have. So hopefully he learns. And we'll see what's next for Moicano. Nice win for him, nice comeback win. Diego Lopes then defeated Sodiq Yusuff by TKO in the first round, very early in the first round. Very exciting fight. Lopes showing some serious power right from the start, dropping him with an uppercut at the beginning of the round. Yusuff survived, but then was dropped with another shot with the same shot, an uppercut later in this same round, leading to that TKO finish and win for Lopes. I did pick Lopes to win this fight. Not sure if he trained to use that uppercut or saw something in Yusuff's fights where he thought he would have the opening for that, but great win for him. Impressive. Back to the drawing board for Yusuff. Lopes is now poised to fight someone in the top 15. Next, we had Kayla Harrison versus Holly Holm. Kayla Harrison winning this one by submission, rear naked choke in round two. Some concerns about the weight cut for Harrison. Some people thought she looked like she was on death's door during the weigh-in, but clearly was a non-issue. Holm initiated grappling at the onset of the fight for some reason. Didn't seem very wise. She did have top position briefly, but Kayla was able to gain top position and then just continue to ground and pound her for the majority of the first round. Holm did survive to the second round, but more of the same in round 2, leading to that rear naked choke finish. Great debut for Harrison, definitely lived up to the hype. I did predict her to win. She's definitely a title contender. I predict she'll win the title. I don't see Raquel Pennington being much of a challenge for her at all. Apparently Nunes is getting enticed to come back to face Kayla if she wins the belt. This would be a phenomenal matchup. Best grappling in the division versus the best striking in the women's bantamweight division. So we'll see if we get that. Nunes has shown a very solid ground game as well. She's no slouch on the ground. So great matchup if we get it. Hopefully we do. We'll see how that plays out. Then we had Aljamain Sterling defeating Calvin Kattar by unanimous decision. Very dominant win for Sterling, using his grappling to control him throughout the entire match. I did predict Sterling to win a decision using his ground game. Perhaps not the most entertaining fight, but not all of Sterling's fights are given his style. He could have gone more for the finish perhaps here, but that powerbomb at the end of the third round was very cool. Looked like he picked up the pace and thought he had him hurt at that point. Maybe he was going for the finish there, but it ended up going the distance. Good featherweight debut for Sterling. Didn't make a statement in this fight, I would say. I don't think he'll get a title shot after this. I expect he'll get someone in the top 5. If he can string together, a couple more wins, he'll be right in line for the title. Next, we had Yiri Prochazka defeating Aleksandar Rakic by TKO in the second round. Very entertaining fight, as most of or all of Prochazka's fights are. Rakic looked good even though he lost. He was looking sharp with his jab and beating up Prochazka's legs. Had some good leg kicks. Prochazka showing that samurai spirit, was able to weather the storm and found his opening in the second round, landing a big shot leading to that TKO finish. I did predict Prochazka to win by second round KO, ended up being a TKO. Prochazka always seems to look reckless even when he wins. But his fights are always entertaining. I'm sure he'll get another top contender next. He's always right there in line for the title, so I don't think it'll be next for him, as he just had a title shot, but he's right there. He's still a top contender. Then we have the main card. First fight on the main card, Bo Nickal, Mr. Hype, but backing it up clearly, and Cody Brundage. So he beat Cody Brundage by submission here, rear naked choke in round 2. This is the most adversity we've seen for Bo Nickal. Brundage seemed a lot more comfortable than his previous opponents in the first round, letting his striking go a bit. Still though, dominant win for Bo Nickal. Nickal wasn't impressed by his own performance here, giving himself a thumbs down at the end of the match and booing himself. But it's only his 6th fight. I did predict Bo Nickal to win this one, but I thought it would end in the first round. I expect the next opponent for Bo Nickal won't be anyone ranked. I think maybe UFC will pump the brakes a little bit, let him gain some more experience. There's no rush. He's very early in his career, still young. So we'll see how that unfolds. We'll see what's next for him. Then we had Arman Tsarukyan defeating Charles Oliveira by split decision. Great fight, very competitive, pretty competitive. Oliveira had him in some serious trouble early in the first, capitalizing on a slip by Tsarukyan, grabbing a guillotine. Impressive for Tsarukyan to get out of that. It was, very early. They were both still dry. That's kind of Oliveira's bread and butter. We know he has a very tight squeeze, good submission. So Tsarukyan showing his impressive grappling, able to get out of that. From there, Tsarukyan pretty much edged him for the rest of the bout. Oliveira did get that Darce choke at the end of the third round, but still went the distance. I don't think this warranted a split decision. I think this was a clear win for Tsarukyan. But regardless, Tsarukyan should get another top contender in his next fight. Oliveira didn't look bad, so his stock doesn't go down too much. He'll get another top guy, I feel, in his next match. Then we had the BMF title fight. Max Holloway defeating Justin Gaethje by knockout with 1 second left in the 5th round. Wow. What a fight. Fight of the year, I think. seems a lot of fighters were picking Holloway the closer we got to the fight. It seems like maybe they knew something we did not. He did look good. He looked like he was in good shape. Looked like he put on weight the right way, as he was stating. I thought Gaethje was going to win, as I believe most people did, but Max proved everyone wrong. His striking just seemed a lot more crisp than Gaethje. He looked faster than Gaethje. At the end of the first round, we saw him catch him with that spinning back kick that broke his nose. That was definitely a game changer in the fight. He went back to that kick throughout the fight. It was money, all 5 rounds. Gaethje did drop Holloway in the 4th, and apparently that's the first time Holloway's ever been dropped. That was definitely his best moment of the fight. But, dominant performance by Holloway. Final 10 seconds of the fight, points in the center of the canvas to throw down in bad MFer style, and boy did they ever. Insane. They really went for it with Holloway knocking him out with 1 second to go. And Gaethje, what a warrior. He was definitely taking a horrendous beating. For him to engage in that with 10 seconds to go, his heart is next level. Both these guys, insane. So Holloway rules the world now. Pretty much can do whatever he wants and call his shots, I believe. He got, I guess, double the bonus, 600K. So congratulations to him. Well deserved. Will he fight Topuria now, or will it be 155? I feel like he did look really good at 155. He always mentioned in the previous fight with Poirier, he didn't have time to prepare. He had in his words, he had a muffin top max. I think he said his coaches were calling him, but he put on weight the right way this time. Looked amazing. So he definitely could continue at 155. But I think Topuria is a better matchup for him than Makhachev. So I think that would probably be the smarter fight to make. Who would have thought? Now we learned Poirier is getting the title shot at 155 instead of Gaethje. Gaethje was the guy next in line. Took a risk in this fight, didn't work out. It's crazy how fast things change in MMA and the UFC, but I don't think Gaethje's stock goes down too much here. He's always putting on entertaining fights. The UFC really likes him. So he'll get another top guy. Hopefully just the knockout doesn't have a lasting effect. You never know when that one devastating knockout changes your off switch. It makes it easier for you to get knocked out. So hopefully that's not the case here, but the UFC really likes him, so he'll get another top contender, I'm sure. And yeah, wow, just incredible. And then we had the co-main, Zhang Weili defeating Yan Xiaonan via unanimous decision. Dominant win here by Weili. I did pick Weili to win this one. I think she would get. I think she really won at the end of the first round with that choke. Yan quite literally saved by the bell here. I'm not sure why it wasn't stopped. I feel like it could have been and should have been probably, but regardless, she went on to have a dominant win. Yan showed some heart. When she was on the ground, she defended very well. Actually dropped Weili in the 3rd and the 4th rounds, but Weili continued to dominate the rest of the fight, leading to that decision win. Another impressive win for Weili. I feel like Rose should be the next one to fight Weili. She always seemed to have her number. She went up in weight class and wasn't successful. So I feel like come back down to strawweight, get your title back. I feel like that's the best match to make at this point in time. But we'll see how that plays out. And then we had the main event, Alex Pereira defeating Jamal Hill by knockout in the first round. Amazing fight. Alex Pereira making a huge statement in this main event, taking a very little time to dispose of Jamal Hill by knockout. Left hook early in the first round. I predicted Pereira would win this by knockout. Right before the knockout, it looked like there was a low blow to Pereira. The ref tried to intervene, but Pereira, in his own BMF moment, was just laser focused, waved off the ref, walked down Hill, knocked him out. Very impressive. So it'll be interesting to see what's next for him. I think Magomed Ankalaev should be the next one in line. I don't think anyone else at 205 pounds makes sense. He's coming off a very impressive win over Johnny Walker, which was a rematch of his previous fight with Walker, which was stopped early due to an illegal knee. Looked like Ankalaev was winning that. Before that, he had a draw with Jan Blachowicz. He was on a 9-fight win streak before that. He's only had one loss his entire career, a submission in his UFC debut, so I feel like he has to be the next guy in line. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. What do you think of the event as a whole? Definitely exciting. I think most would agree, but let me know your thoughts. Definitely a huge night for the UFC. Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys, and I will see you next time.